Long story short, he left me for the ex. And it was right when I was filming Princesses of Long Island. And it was so brutal because the producers wanted me to talk about the breakup and deal with the actual breakup on camera. I'm like, no, you guys don't get it. He broke up with me already. Like, I'm not going through this again on national TV.
I'm not going to fake a breakup right now. We're not saying to fake it. We're saying just like to relive the emotion.
Relive it. Chanel, don't you want to tell him once and for all? I was like, don't try that shit with me.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
The Man Whore Podcast is sponsored by Audio Desires, an erotic audio platform dedicated to giving you the best oral sex you can have. With hundreds of sexy stories in 3 different languages and a sleek, user-friendly design, Audio Desires is the right fit to get you in the mood. Enjoy 50% off an annual membership or 20% off a monthly membership when you use promo code MANWHORE at audiodesires.com. Do you got a dick? Do you want to spice things up in the bedroom with that dick and boost your sexual performance? Of course you do. Do it naturally without the nasty prescription drugs and side effects when you use my sponsor this week, Joy Mode. Get 20% off your first order at usejoymode.com/manwhore. Now let's get to the show.
Welcome to the Man Whore Podcast.
Shout out to all the real queer housewives, to the island fuckboys, the Love is Blind bottoms, and everyone who is pumping Vander. This is Billy Procida, and you're listening to the Man Whore Podcast. Hey, welcome to the show. This week on the pod, I have got on fellow podcaster and former cast member of the Bravo series, Princesses of Long Island, Chanel Omari. We got a wonderfully manic episode for y'all coming right up. But first, yeah. Oh, it feels so good to finally say again, show dates, people, show dates. Yes. This Sunday, August 14th, 9 p.m., I'm going to be at Secret Pour here in Brooklyn, telling some yucks. Going to be a fun show, free comedy show. And I also want y'all to save this date. If you're in the greater New York City area, on September 16th, yours truly and your fave, Andrea Allen, we will be throwing a naked comedy show at Hacienda. You heard it here first, I think. Probably. What? Naked like, with your, yeah. What are you going to be wearing? No, nothing. It's a naked comedy show, people. It's exactly what it sounds like. And Andrea and I will be bringing some very funny stand-up comedians down to the orgy basement where we're going to strip down and tell some jokes. And you can be there. Keep the date September 16th open and then stay tuned for more information and for tickets. But I at least want y'all to keep the date free for now. Got my monkeypox vaccine. Feeling good. Feeling protected. Everything's fine, by the way. I told y'all last week, don't be skeptical of this thing. It's not a new vaccine. And if you can get one, please get one. I got no side effects. I was fine the next day. Only thing I got is, the soreness at the injection site is like kind of still there. Just wanted to let y'all know, nothing weird with the monkeypox vaccine. I like to give a shout out to members of my fan whore community on Patreon. Thank them for supporting the podcast with their real world dollars. And this week, I want to give a shout out to Try Poetry. I assume is a poet person. He's very active in our Discord server, the Champagne Room, aka Storybox. What's up, buddy? Thanks for supporting the pod. Thanks for supporting the show. I love the enthusiasm. The guy goes to nude beaches a lot. We are learning. So thanks a lot, buddy. Happy to have you in there. It's been fun connecting. And if you want to connect with Storybox or with me or with anyone in Fan Whore Nation, you got to join us in the Champagne Room, folks. Don't be thrown off by Discord. You're going to pick it up. I swear. It's way better than like Facebook and Reddit and all of them. Okay. Come on by manwhorepod.com/Discord. And if you too want to support the podcast for as little as $2 a month, you can become a member today at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. That's Patreon, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. I need that Patreon money because bots are out there trying to steal my t-shirt money. You know what I mean? Well, I do want to get to this week's guest, Chanel Omari. Chanel, she was on a reality TV show on Bravo many years ago called Princesses of Long Island. She also has her own podcast, Chanel in the City, and she performs stand-up comedy around New York. We got into quite the discussion. She's in a little bit of a situation with a fella, and she's just having a go of it. She's having a hard time. Kind of difficult to tell what reality is right now. I'm sure she's having a hard time figuring that out because she's got, she's telling me she has a boyfriend who doesn't really want to say he's her boyfriend. And, we've all heard this one before. I think I've had some guests on who've had the similar issue. Now, I gotta say, I know the guy. I don't know him super well. Nice guy. I don't know the situation. So I do want to say that remember that this is one side of a story. We don't know the other side of the story. I'm just a comedian with a fuck show. I'm not a journalist. It's not my job to parse out and figure out what the truth story is. My job is to sit across from somebody and connect and empathize and have an entertaining conversation. And I think we had that. But we don't just discuss her relationship woes that she's going through. We also talked about, modern Orthodox Judaism. We talked about reality TV. I think you're going to have fun with this one. I don't know. At the end, you may be like, I kind of want to give her a hug. I hope she's okay. I know that's how I felt. But anyways, here's my conversation with Chanel Omari. Wouldn't you rather take a supplement designed to spice things up in the bedroom naturally rather than a prescription drug with all those weird side effects, headaches and shortness of breath, heart issues, that gross blue tongue? No, thank you. No, I want a nice all natural supplement. I want that pre-workout shake, but for fucking. And that's where my sponsor this week comes in, Joy Mode. I love it when I got a sponsor I actually use. I emailed the dude last week. I was like, hey man, I'm kind of running low on that first shipment. Can you send me some more? Yeah, no, promotional, right? But you can send me some more Joy Mode. Pretty please. I love this stuff, man. It's so easy. I just tear open the little baggie the way I do with something I would take for the gym. Stir it up in a glass of water, splurge that down, and a half hour later, I'm ready to go. I love it as a nice peace of mind. I had a date last week, somebody I have not had sex with one-on-one before. We did have a weird threesome together once. I did not know was going to happen until you're in there. Hey, some of you know what it's like. Sometimes you're about to have sex with somebody. All of a sudden, another guy shows up and you're doing calculus. How much do I want to have sex with you enough that I'm okay having him there? And so we did that. And but it was hey, could we have sex I don't know, alone? I don't want to be too kinky. And she's yeah, totally. So I went over last week, but beforehand, because she's kind of a sexual dynamo, and I'm still recovering from the breakup. I'm still trying to find that sexual confidence I once had. And so I was you know what? I just want to know that there's something that I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about the bone, I take some Joy Mode. This sexual performance booster is designed to support erection quality and firmness and sex drive. And especially that last one. I'm trying to pull back on the weed, but having some help in the sex drive department, I'm into it. So if you want to spice things up in the bedroom and boost your sexual performance, do it naturally, okay? Without the nasty prescription drugs, okay? And this is a good supplement. This isn't an Alex Jones supplement, all right? I don't think InfoWars is sponsored by Joy Mode, and I'm happy that they share that view. That I am happy that Joy Mode seems to share the anti-Alex Jones POV. And that's why I'm down to have them help you with some PIV. Oh, see what I did there? I'm feeling good. I haven't even taken Joy Mode yet. Imagine this ad read on Joy Mode. Holy shit. Well, they've got a very special offer for the Man Whore podcast audience. Go to usejoymode.com/manwhore or use code manwhore at checkout for 20% off your first order. 20% off. Yep, that's right. And you do that at usejoymode.com/manwhore. I do have to technically say the words, thanks, Joy Mode. Okay, see, I said them. Okay, everybody. Fellas, hook yourself up with some assistance. Let's go to the show.
As I was saying, it's hard when you are in a relationship, when you're like, especially in comedy, right? Because I'm currently seeing someone. I'm with my boyfriend, and I had asked him, like, what do you feel comfortable with me saying? Since I'm a public figure, I'm out doing sets, right? All night, every night. I'm on podcasts talking about things. I'm on my own podcast talking about dating and relationships. And a lot of reasons why I think women or men in general come to me is because they see how open I am with my relationships. So whether I'm hooking up with a guy or I'm in a relationship with him, I'll take you through that whole journey. Maybe that's bad, that I'm too open with it. But I think it's good because I start learning things. The audience learns things. It's genuine. It's authentic. But the thing is, when I asked him, what do you feel comfortable with? A lot of men like him say, I'm fine with you saying I'm your boyfriend.
Right.
But then when we're out and about, when a guy's starting to get committed who doesn't want to really be committed, I've realized sometimes, is it like, are we boyfriend and girlfriend?
Well, what happens when you say,
or
when
are we
you're out
not?
and about, like, oh, this is my boyfriend?
He's fine with it, but he also feels, okay, he's older than me,
right?
So he feels it's weird to say. I don't know if you remember Sex in the City or you watched it, but I'm sure the female audience is familiar. And there's an episode where Sarah Jessica Parker says to Big, the guy who she's been on and off with, who's her boyfriend,
R.I.P. I heard
R.I.P. Yes, and he says, I don't want to be called as your boyfriend. Am I a little too old to be called your boyfriend? Like, shouldn't I be your man friend? And I swear the same exact thing happened with my boyfriend. He's like, am I not a little too old to be called your boyfriend? And it's like, no one's ever too old to be called your boyfriend or girlfriend,
Tell
right?
him you want to be husband or partner, because there's your other options.
I said that too, and it's like, no, but you see, but then you get into that that's why dating's so hard for me, because I think I'm all or nothing. And I think people see that, and it's like, if we're hooking up for a while and we're establishing this like comfort of being there for one another,
okay,
and this is a relationship, why can't we just be loud and proud about it? I think that him and a lot of men feel, not because he doesn't like me or doesn't want to be committed, I think it's because being loud and proud about it, he's already a private person. So that's been tough for me to be navigating this, to be honest with you.
I mean, I've had a friend on the show, Tracy Carnazzo.
Love Tracy.
Tracy's great. Tracy
Shout out to
loves you.
Tracy. Love Tracy. Tracy Carnazzo. She's been my rock, by the way, through all this.
But you remember what happened with her and Chipface, where like he wouldn't say out loud, that's my girlfriend, but they've been together for like
5 years.
A fucking crazy long amount of time, is living with her, but out in public, that's not my girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm single, and that like fucked with her head. And so it's not chill to do that. It was so that he could just go fuck other people. At the end of the day, like, sack up. You in this or not?
And
or what is it? You tell me, what is it? Because what it is behind the door is what it is out there when we're at a bar.
And here's the thing: it's like, I love him, and he knows that. And people who know that we're dating know that we're together.
Does he love you?
I think so. He says, but
so he says it.
He says
we're gonna take him at his words.
Yes, I'm gonna take him at his words. And the reason why I put the words out there, it's not for image. It's also because when I feel he doesn't tell certain girls that I'm his girlfriend, right? Or he'll be like, "This is my baby," and he'll be low about it. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable, and I try not to make that the major fight with us.
Okay.
But I want the audience to know in general, like, if you keep making excuses, eventually I'm going to be out of this relationship, of course.
Right. How long y'all been together?
We've been together for now is 7 months.
7 months.
But on and off, to be honest.
But he's calling you his baby.
To some of them, yeah. But then some of them, it's very weird. It's like almost like we're not together, but he'll say to me, baby, everybody knows on the staff that we're together. Everybody knows in life that we're together. It's like, no, because... Shout out to Corinne Fisher, one of my girls out there, who's a very amazing feminist and strong woman and has her shit going, and she's great in comedy and knows both of us well. Did not know. She didn't know.
Oh.
She didn't know. So to say everybody knows, it's not true, because not everybody cares about your business. Not everybody's around. And listen, we're around everybody. Like, and I'm not expecting people to know. I didn't mean it like that. I mean it like where I try to explain to him, not everybody knows. And so men out there who don't feel comfortable, if you want your girlfriend to really feel secure and safe with you,
you have to be able to say, that's my girlfriend.
Yeah, be loud and like own it. And it's not just him. I've been going through this with a lot of men in my life, and this is my constant narrative of relationships. It's like, what are we? And why do I feel loud and proud? And then there's a little wishy-washy on this end. And the thing we're taking it slow. We did break up. So we broke up for a couple times and it was because of that. It was because we're not just fucking. And I have to make it clear for myself, my career, my reputation, my dignity, whatever he thinks, even after what we talked about, if he still wants to continue telling other people that we're not that, that's on him. But I can't allow that. And if people want to think I'm psycho for thinking we're together, well, the joke's on everyone because I'm with this man every night or all the time that they don't know about.
Right.
They don't quote on, you know what I mean? So why would a woman in general, I think women, men, we get triggered. People get triggered when you do a lot for someone or invest or you have this conversation that you're on the same page. And then all of a sudden you're like, but why aren't you so loud and proud? Because I can't stick around looking like a groupie.
When you set an intention privately and do not follow through on it, yeah, that can be confusing. I had a chick who I was like madly into, on and off for a year and a half, was never my girlfriend because she didn't want to be my girlfriend. But I couldn't get this woman to go get dinner with me. It was come over. I got her to go to 2 movies, and sometimes we can get a drink around the corner from her at this one small bar no one's at. And so at some point I'm like, am I being hidden? Like, what's going on? Why can't we have dinner?
How long can you have sex with someone without having, this is the bullshit part to me, without having a relationship? It's like when you said on Cypher Sounds podcast, and when he said, what's an hour and a half to go to fucking dinner with someone you're with, fucking friends? Like, come on.
Just enjoy.
Grow up. Like this girl, how could she not want to go to more dinners? And I can't wrap. Maybe we're both relationship people.
I'm a huge relationship
I'm a relationship
person.
type of person.
I'm just also a slutty non-monogamous relationship type of person. But, like, hey, similar types. Me and Chanel Omari. Hello.
Yeah, we're the only unique types. Hey, hit us up. No, but I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, even now, what would your advice be really? I try to give myself advice. It's like, so I talk to the person till they're blue in the face. But if they don't want to be saying, hey, this is my girlfriend because they feel they can get someone else. It's like, I just think the joke's on everyone because you know what I do on social media? I blow up his social. Now I know, but not in a bad. You should have seen Billy's face. He's like, bitch, you psycho.
You were like, I know what it sounds like. And it is that.
But I'm doing it for a specific reason. I'm doing it for other women out there to hear me out and say, if you're in this situation or men, we're doing it to ourselves by being the secret. That's what I realized because I told him there's an ultimatum if he wants me back. And that's why he started kissing me in public, being more affectionate in front of certain people. But now the fight or the conflict is more, you got to do it in front of every woman that's around. It can't be.
But you also don't want it to be a chore.
I don't want it to be a chore.
For it to be a chore is also its own red flag thing.
Correct. It's like he's not like comfortable, I don't think, being affectionate with everyone. But then I see him trying to be affectionate. Not affectionate, just like, when you touch someone and you don't have to touch them, like you're trying to be friendly, quote unquote, but it's kind of flirting. If it's almost like you want to touch that person. I can't explain it. Like we've had boundary conversations. Like if we're together and there's girls that used to hug or fist pump, you don't need to do that anymore.
He can't hug people?
No, he can hug.
Is
that bad? Is that too much of me asking? Everyone's saying that's too much.
I don't know. I always hesitate at saying like something is definitively too much or whatever, but like I think that would be too much of an ask for me because I'm more concerned about like, well, what emotions am I invoking in you? And then can we talk about that? Because maybe the actual solution has nothing to do with whether or not I'm hugging people, but maybe there's something going on where I can make sure you're feeling a certain way. Clearly, you don't feel secure in the relationship.
Right. And because I said to him, I feel if he makes that differentiation, that clarification, like, I am only with you and like I'm flirting with you, like touching you. And with these girls, you'll see it's just like a pat. Like,
I hate to break it to you, but he has patted my shoulder.
I know.
Is that okay with you?
So he said that. He's been like, dude, I've patted men's shoulders or been nice, just as friendly to men as to women. And before we got on this podcast, you're like, dude, I love him because he's such a great, friendly guy. Yeah. And he says to me, you fell in love with the guy that you're upset about. And this is just my own insecurities and I'm owning them and I want to own them out loud because I think that's a way for me to get better and be a better person and be a better person in the relationship. But I do want him to want to, I've been around men, like my sister's husband, he wants to not shake that other girl's hand or he wants to show my sister that she's more special the way he treats her because that's how you differentiate. How do I like someone and not? I told him, then you're going to make every woman feel liked and then you're going to get unsolicited, and then that affects our relationship. So,
but like if he can do things at home that make you feel secure, I would imagine your tolerance for certain things would differ. I had an ex who we dated about a year and a half. I am not in the grid once. It's like I want to be claimed.
Yes.
To me, is attractive to be for someone to point and be like,
That's mine.
I mean, granted, it's very attractive for like 3 people to point at me and be like, mine. I'd be like, me, pretty.
Yes, but I get what you're saying.
Right.
That's what I want. I think I want him to be claimed. And I want it to be Chanel's my special woman. Mm-hmm. I have love for all of you. Don't get me wrong. And listen, I'm the one messaging, for his birthday or for events, other women, other female comics. I'm not that jealous or psycho because I'm even messaging them being like, yo, but I'm messaging the ones that I know have respect for our relationship, have respect for me.
Do you trust that he not cheats?
So that's been the thing is like, I don't think he does right now, but I have a fear of men cheating in general on me because I've been cheated on a lot. Mm-hmm. I also have worked for the Maury Povich show, no pun intended.
Which is one of the 2 things I wrote here.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So that's, imagine and I've had friends cheated on. I mean, I've had the craziest stories, family members. So to me, yeah, why would I think otherwise? But I do feel like what we talked about recently, he even said we need trust, compassion, right. and communication. And I know we keep saying those things, but we really have to actually implement them. Yeah. So like, that's why I say, when I say I blow up his social media or when you say it's petty, it's not petty when you tell someone, if you want to be with me, these are the conditions. Because
you post that publicly?
No. Okay. I've told him that. And he's met those conditions, but he'll say they're petty. They're not petty. Or I'll say, why are you liking some girl from either your job or a girl we know who has a thought photo on? That's disrespectful. And not liking any of my photos for comedy. Well, you can't do stuff like that.
So it's like, but if he did the other thing, then it kind of negates, like, it makes it look bad if you're liking the thought photos and nothing of yours.
I said, like the thought photos, but also like mine. Sure. Look how rational. Like, I'm compromising. I'm negotiating.
I also hate that we're talking about like Instagram like it matters. But
like, it does in our society right now.
Exhibit something. It's a behavior and it just shows a thing.
And I said it does seem like you're making an excuse because he'll be like, but they're not my girl. Th're not my girlfriend. We're not, we're exclusive. I said, that makes it even more.
Part of the benefit of this relationship is them likes.
Yes. And also that on top of that, doesn't that make you want, like, that's the whole point. Yeah. They're not your girlfriend. You shouldn't be liking their thought photos. Yeah. You should be liking all mine, but I'll negotiate and have you like, if you got to like them. I'm not that psycho. I get it. People, we both had a past. And he's like, what about the guys that like yours? But here's the difference. I really separate with men in general. Like when they like my stuff, they know Chanel has a boyfriend. Chanel's into this man. She's not going to try to like, and again, we're both very friendly people, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can make excuses. And that's why I blow up his social. When I say blow up his social, I do like on his birthday, I'm like, happy birthday, baby, on the comments. So that all the exes that are liking and all these motherfucker girls that think that he's flirting with them at that moment understand very well from my end, he has someone. Sure. So if you guys want to get into this messy thing, you're going to have to answer this quote unquote. And I'm not a psycho for that. That's what I want everyone to understand. Like, you're not a psycho for you going for a year and a half to this woman and wanting to take her out. Like, that's not fair to make us the psycho because someone wants someone casual. Mm-hmm. Now, he wanted someone casual. Like a lot of men, they told me they want things casual. And then when I give them ultimatums, they say they don't. But then we go back to like, the way I know they want it is that they start distancing and then I have to distance and then it becomes a whole game. And I'm just like, why can't we just be?
Yeah.
What is the problem of you saying? And the other thing I said to him and other people is in comedy or the entertainment industry, if you're dating someone, it's better to tell people, hey, we're together. It leaves less room for gossip about you. It leaves less room of speculation. I mean, not that I care what people think, but
okay.
I don't know. I'm rambling. What do you think, Billy?
No, I'm taking this in. I'm curious, how have you always felt so insecure in relationships?
Yes. All the time.
Since the beginning.
Yeah, since my first love, my first boyfriend.
What was your first love, your first boyfriend?
My first love, my first boyfriend was in college.
Okay.
I lost my virginity to him.
Mazel.
So thank you. It was a big deal. We were together for 5 years on and off. I knew it was a real relationship because he actually did say we were girlfriend and boyfriend. Like that was the first guy that actually courted me in the beginning, that wanted me to be his girlfriend. I didn't want to be his girlfriend because I was like, I'm in college. I went to Northeastern University. I was having so much fun. I was my sophomore year. So he courted me. And I knew with that relationship in the beginning, I did feel secure. We were together. That wasn't the problem. But I did encounter a lot of the same men. It's always about another woman. Mm-hmm. That's always the name of the game with us. That's what makes us break up. It's what makes me feel really insecure. Like I'm never good enough. And I'm like, I can't compete with supermodels on a daily basis. I'm never going to be the prettiest in a room, the funniest or the smartest, but I do have all those qualities, you know? So I just don't want to compete. And I think it was more of the men that I chose that always felt like they weren't so happy with me. They wanted just something else, something better, you know? Like I would go out of my way to make them happy or do nice things for them, and they would fight with me about it. And then I was like, oh, that's why you don't really like me.
Right.
I also think I pick old school men for a reason. I think I have daddy issues. I think I have mommy issues. I think the way I was raised.
And yet didn't end up bisexual, picking both terrible men and women.
I know, right? I find women very beautiful, but like that would be too much for me, drama. You know what I mean? Because some women can be dramatic, and I'm already emotional. But
if you go for those old school types, like you are going to get old school mentalities, and old school mentality in men does not allow for much vulnerability.
Yep.
So what happened with the first fella?
So we were on and off because, you know, it was an abusive relationship, meaning like mentally, emotionally, he was not happy. He drank a lot and he would go drinking, and then I would be invisible to him. Right. And it would be him flirting with other girls or trying to be slick with other girls. And I would be like, we can't do this. We can't be in a relationship that you think we're in. And then you're fucking other girls or trying to fuck other girls. Like, so that's the running. And he wasn't Jewish, I am, and that was a big deal. He's Greek, and he was like, he had a lot of animosity towards Jews in general.
Really?
I mean, no, he's not. Yeah, he's not anti-Semitic. He just had it. It was, I think, a lot of Jewish people played a role in his life, and I understand that from him because he was vulnerable and talked to me about how they made him feel like he didn't belong.
Okay.
But that's the thing. It's like I can't take responsibility and be this representation of the Jewish nation or women, or because I came from Long Island and from a privileged background. So I felt like I kept getting punished for that with him. And we just weren't on the same page. It was really about commitment at the end of the day. And we broke up for good when his dad was sick, and he was just, I guess it was just, he was not in the right, he wasn't treating me well. He wasn't courting me, whining and dining me. He'd make excuses. I felt like towards the end of our relationship, I was more of a secret. You know, it would be breaking up on and off. Probably when he wasn't getting girls' attention, he'd come back to me. It was just it was just bad. But he's a great person. Like, he's great now, and he's great without me. And of course that makes me think like, and the funniest part is all the guys I've dated end up dating supermodels after me, or like big time. It's the craziest thing. Like these like really pretty influencer models or supermodels like on TV, or, you know, and that's where I'm like, maybe I was right the whole time. Maybe I wasn't good enough. For that. I'm good enough for me, but maybe for that person, you know how everybody has their stipulations on paper or their standards. I don't know. It's just, you know, that's what happened with that.
It just sounds like it caused you so much stress, and then you end up like on this reality show where it's like, my parents are trying to marry me off on television. Somebody marry me.
And then I'm like stressed about that. I'm like, nobody's marrying me, which is crazy that like 10 years later after the reality show, I'm still not married.
Well, yeah, that was.
And some of the girls on my show are. Oh my God, I'm going to kill myself slowly.
It's like their mothers did a better job on that part.
Yeah. Because I'm like, did I push myself away from, am I doing this? Am I the one who's subliminally not wanting to be committed and getting myself in these non-committal relationships with these men I know aren't emotionally available? Am I trying to make them emotionally available because I think if I'm nice, if I do this, if I show you I'm the girl, I'm the wifey? I don't think that happens with old school men. You show them you're the wifey, they don't care. They already categorized you.
I think if you show all that to somebody who doesn't want commitment, like that's not going to make them want commitment.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like,
I didn't realize
if they just don't want commitment, they're not like waiting for the right woman to show them what commitment is. Like, they got to kind of come to that on their own of like what they want in their life. But like, what was to like, what the fuck was it like to be like trying to date on a reality TV show?
That was insane. And I mean, the experience, it was crazy. Like, well, I had a boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
Who we were going to get engaged. That was the that was probably the most serious relationship in my life, I would say, because we were actually, our parents met each other. They hung out. We were talking about getting engaged because he comes from an old school family too.
Okay.
He was much younger than me. I was 26. He was 22.
Gossip.
That was a major gossip in the Jewish community. They're
How
like,
long were you even together then?
2 years.
Okay.
So he was.
Wait. Okay. What bar did you two fucking hook up at?
He was underage. He wasn't. He was 21. No, he was. So he was 23.
Pick up a nice NYU boy. Is that what happened?
No, he was in Queens. A nice Queens boy. I was, because I had moved back home with my parents because I knew I was filming the reality show, but I couldn't share the info with anyone. And he actually happened to be best friends with my sister's best friend, girlfriend. that's how we met. We smoked weed one night together. I was really depressed over someone else I was getting over. And my sister was like, listen, I'm not going to be there, but hang out with my friends. Like, you need to do something. You're at mom and dad's house, whatever. So I hung out with them, and one thing led to another, and we started just hanging out every day. And I was like, there was something about him, and he was very mature for his age, very mature. Like, I felt like I was dating someone older than me, but he was younger than me because he took the reign. He took me out, and you know, a lot of times Jewish men, when they're younger, they're raised to grow up really fast. Like, he had already a bit, you know, he was working for insurance, and he
We're supposed to start that family nice and quick.
Start that family nice and quick. And I think he felt pressured, and he rushed, and he just had got out of his last relationship, which was, it lasted for them for 3 years. And, you know, so I also don't realize I'm the rebound a lot. And instead of realizing that, I should walk away at that time. But I take it to another level where I'm like, so what if I'm people have their past. I've had an ex. He has an ex. Long story short, he left me for the ex. And it was right when I was filming Princesses of Long Island. And it was so brutal because the producers wanted me to talk about the breakup and deal with the actual breakup on camera. I'm like, no, you guys don't get it. He broke up with me already. Like, I'm not going through this again on national TV.
I'm not going to fake a breakup right now. We're not saying to fake it. We're saying just like to relive the emotion.
Relive it, Chanel. Don't you want to tell him once and for all? I was like, don't try that shit with me.
And can you word it like in the present tense? I know we're using a lot like past tense verbiage. Can we just like make it present? I don't know.
So true. It was like so about that. And they're like, you really been talking about it. I think the world's going to understand. Long story short, it ended up in both of our favor because he had broken up with me again right before we were filming an episode. I was like, I'm done with this guy and I got to move on. And he had called me on camera to try to get me back.
Which as someone in the industry, because I've looked at your LinkedIn, you have a very full it's one of your early hits on Google. And I was just like, oh, that was a phone call they did. And
which fucked me up more.
Pushed a little bit. You're like, is he actually calling me? Or did the producer kind of nudge him and be like, if you're comfortable, would you, I think you should call Chanel.
So that's what fucked with me is that I feel like even though it wasn't to them, it's not staged, right? We're not breaking the fourth wall. They really did mean, do you want to hash this out? But when somebody's going through real feelings in real time, in real life, plus filming a reality show, which in itself is already pressure, you're fucking with yourself, right? Your mind's fucking with you. You're like, like you said, is he calling me for the right reasons? Because I want this man back. Is he calling me back? Like, or is he doing this to humiliate me in front of millions of people, which he tried? It's like, or is he with his ex and they're going to try to utilize my platform now, make me look bad? And
because you can't trust those fucking producers because you're like, I am a producer. They shouldn't trust me.
Exactly. Either. I'm like, I'm producing myself, bitches, tonight. They're like, okay, just be you. And then and there's a scene that I literally say to him when he's like doing this whole song and dance. And I'm like, Michael, let me break it down for you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what you did. This is what happened in real time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I don't break this down, then everyone's going to have my edit. Everyone's going to have control of my narrative, my story. And I was like, fuck that shit. I don't even care if I look like a firm bitch on national. Like, I'm going to break it down. And I did. It ended up working in my favor because the whole world, most of the world sympathized with me, empathized, wrote to me. I had a similar situation. What I got out of the situation was not to humiliate him. It was to make other people feel better in a situation that they had that was similar to mine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're not alone. Hey, I'm going through this too. Not to mention that after the show, he wanted to sue me, even though he signed up for it. And like me and all the producers were just like, this guy is like, thank God you got rid of this guy. Not to mention that he got more ass after the show than I did. He got a girlfriend out of it. And it's like, these are the things that women were, I made him a better man.
Did you date other people? Did you try dating and meeting other people on the show?
I did. And so that was hard because once the show was so popular, even till this day, people still know about it and they watch it. And I think I got a lot of, like, I would go on Tinder or Hinge, all the dating apps. And a lot of guys would literally not tell me in the beginning, but then when they would meet me, they'd be like, oh my God, I know this is weird, but I wanted to tell you, like, I watched a show, or my girlfriend watched a show, or my ex watched a show, and how was it? And then we would be talking about that. I had a guy say once, this, like, I thought this guy was so
you're
great.
Talking present day, not back when you were filming.
No, back when I was filming,
like during
filming. When I was filming, and also not when I was filming, they didn't know about the show. When the show aired,
right.
That's when it was hard. Dating during the show was very hard for me. I actually didn't, which was weird because I'm a sexual person, but like, it was too much. We were filming 7 days a week. We weren't allowed to hang out with a lot of people, like, outside our circle, really, because they're not filming with us.
Sure.
I'm trying to think, was I dating? And I was going on and off with that guy that I was in love with. So when you remember when you're going through a breakup, I don't know, me, I don't hook up with other guys until I'm like, I'm done. I'm really over this guy. I'm ready to date. I was ready to date when the show started airing, and I was really moving on from him. And yeah, I was really moving on from him, and that was good for me. Like,
right, you're trying to move on from him while you've got like producers trying to kind of nudge and twist and be like, because they know that, oh, this is good storyline, but but
and they're like, this is real.
There's a human being here.
There's a human being here, and that's what everyone was forgetting. And I was like, if no one's gonna remember that, then I have to remember that for myself. You know, like I have to make people remember, hey, I'm human. I matter. I have feelings. I'm not going to just sit here like a mouse, be quiet because there's something I want to say too. And, you know, I don't want you to all think that the reason this relationship ended was because I was such a, you know, it took two. But really, I realized in the end, it took two to tango in every relationship. I had a lot of faults. I have a lot of faults. I have a lot of demands. But I think we should have demands as humans, and we should have standards and know our worth. And, you know, if you're willing to do that for someone, they should be willing to do that for you.
What do you think about all these like dating reality shows and like good idea, bad idea? I mean, I see ads pop up on my thing all the time for this or that. I get emails being like, we're looking for people for the thing. And I'm like, I don't fucking trust you. I did one dating show on TV and it's bad.
Which one?
I think it was called Date Night Live or First Date Live.
Oh my God, I did that. Oh my God.
Wait, on Lifetime?
On Lifetime. I was supposed to be on that, Billy. I was supposed to be on that. They cut my episode.
What? I was on the first episode.
Wait a second. And that's why I was like, I'm not even joking. You're kind of familiar. I'm like, he looks like he's on TV. But here's the thing. That's what happens in reality TV all the time. Since Princesses, I feel like I couldn't get even a break. Like literally I've signed up for like 2 or 3 dating shows and I got in main character or one of the character for the episodes. And then it's like, oh, the show either is ending or your episode's cut.
What happened with that show?
Crazy that we're meeting to get
my
this
gosh.
is full circle. Okay, wait, we got to talk about
this. So did you film or what? So what you told me yours first.
I actually filmed.
Okay.
I think the actual date I didn't end up going because that's when they said, "Oh, we don't think we're gonna air your episode."
Right, because we did do test ones. Because I had to do a test one first, which
I did a test
was actually better than my fucking aired one. But
I did a test one, and but they filmed it, and I signed the contract and everything, and I was like, "I'm in," and they said, "You're in," and then all of a sudden, I wonder if it has to do with the princess, like a lot of things, because I'm typecasted as everyone knows me as the Princess of Long Island or that show.
Well, real quick, one of the things in it, everyone kind of had a thing that they were supposed to reveal, like at a judicious amount of time into the date. So, like, what was your thing that you were supposed to like reveal?
That I was the comedian thing.
That was your scary thing. I have to let you know. I sometimes go on stage in front of people and talk about my pussy, and because
they were
that
like
might be a deal breaker. Funny women, who would want that?
But you know that sometimes that is. Because when I told the producers at the time, they were like, oh, really? Like, do you think men are going to be okay with that? And
okay with you being funny? Like, it just blows my fucking mind.
It blows my mind. But you know a lot of men are not okay with women being funny.
Which is so stupid to me.
So stupid.
I don't want to do all the heavy lifting. Fuck that.
Right, exactly. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah. So that's wild that they were just like, your potential deal breaker is like, she's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I'm like, that's not enough drama. What was yours?
Okay, so I, at the time, had a girlfriend. I was in a non-monogamous relationship or a polyamorous relationship. And so I was still with Paige at the time. And so I do the show and I got my girlfriend's blessing to do it. And yeah, they put me on this. Now I did the test date and it was wonderful. Her thing that she had to reveal was like, she had like a kid who's like in college, which I was like, hot. And
I think I remember this episode because I watched it.
My date. Okay, this is why reality TV shows fucking bullshit. Yeah. Some of y'all might remember this if you OG heads, but like early in, so very early, like I sit down with her, and I think this is like around when Trump announced he wanted to do the trans military ban. And I think, I forget what she said. She was kind of like a how you doing, and I may have mentioned that in the news, and then like something else was said at some point. But at some point I had to say like, wait a second, did you vote for the orange guy? She's like, I don't like to talk about politics on a first date. Which in New York City specifically,
right,
there are only 2 reasons to not deny voting for Trump. One is if you didn't, but you think I did, and I might like react in a not great way to you.
Sure.
Or you did, and you know that's not a great thing. I let it go, and we do the date or whatever. But at the end, of the date, like I just realized like I'm not really into it. I wasn't really attracted to her like from the get-go, but then it just like got less attractive, like just with the person. Let's add the personality, and no, that didn't save it. So she goes to the bathroom to like also do her little confessional as well. I take my per diem. I pay the bill. I'm like, okay, we're cleared up. So when she gets back, I say, hey, look, you seem really nice and all. The Trump thing, kind of a deal breaker for me, but like, I wish you, all the best. She gets defensive, like, I didn't say I did. I was like, yeah, but you didn't. You're still not denying it, which means you did. So I'm just gonna bow out. And then she says something like, well, good luck to you too, and gets up and leaves. Okay. And then the show, now I thought the show was live. Mm-hmm. It was live to tape, which I learned from this what the difference was. So basically, like as that day ended, the episode was kind of starting on the screen in the bar. The producer, he like has them turn it on and buys me a drink because of like he's watching this whole thing and he's this like older British Muslim gay dude.
What a mix.
He's watching me be on this date with someone who clearly is hiding that. So when she leaves and goes down the escalator, he runs out the bathroom and he's like, Billy, I'm so sorry. Her thing was supposed to be that she's 30 and still lives with her parents.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Like they had no idea. And the thing is like, they did ask us like, what is a deal breaker? Which they could use to fuck with you or actually respect. And I said, I laughed. I said, I don't know. I guess a Trump supporter. And
that's amazing.
I believed him when he said that he didn't know because I'd be like, why would you even think to ask that to a woman in New York City?
Right.
So, oh my. So then they play the fucking thing and they cut all the Trumpy shit. The segments are, okay, we meet. Oh, look, they're meeting. Cool. Cut to the other people. When they cut back to us, oh, look, they're getting along. That's great. Great. Cut to me. I reveal that I have a girlfriend. I'm non-monogamous. Oh, how's she gonna react to that? And then when they cut back, it's just, well, take care, and then her leaving. I was like,
right.
I ended this fucking date.
Right, yeah.
So now I was like, really fucking bullshit.
That's hilarious. No, but it's true with the dating, that stuff has to be produced. That's why they have a million producers. It's like funny how they're like reality TV is real or they try to make it real, but it's really produced stuff. I mean, everything, it's TV. My show was hiding. It was real because we did have real relationships that did really happen with the breakup. So that was like a producer's dream because everything was real. But it is, I understand in your situation, it does get pushed too. And then they play on your psychological strings. I was like, that's why when my scene with him is kind of like what I do right now with my current boyfriend of like the social media, like, hey baby, so proud of you.
Right.
Just so that other girls can think twice to be like, he made it seem like he's not with her or someone, but I guess he is with someone. Because I know how women are. It makes them. I know you said some women don't give a fuck, but at least that girl's gonna feel. At least I have dignity in some way. But I'm not the side piece. I'm not the secret, right?
But if you are secure in that, he's not. If you trust he's not gonna cheat on you, then it doesn't matter what any of the women think, right? Because if women throw themselves at him, is his responsibility to honor whatever terms you two set up in your relationship. So if you trust him, who gives a fuck what other women think or even do?
It comes down to me and trusting him. Yeah. The guys have to make the point of this is my girlfriend or the girl I'm with, because then they're just making it awkward for the girl that they think they're sleeping with. They're making it awkward in front of the new girl or the girl and why make it awkward in front of a girl you have no loyalty to? Of course, the guy who wants to be with you and have all the benefits, but then wants to have his cake and eat it too is going to make you feel like or a lot of women that I've talked to, we feel psycho and that's why we feel more insecure.
What do you mean they want the cake and eat it too?
Like, well, in the beginning of us, when we weren't I wanted to be exclusive, but he didn't want to claim it. It was more like, I want to seem like I'm available to all these younger girls that for what? These girls aren't going to be fucking changing your bed pad or your bed pay, whatever that saying is. Bedpan when you're getting older or just like doing things for you. So like I get you want to feel young and hot. I get that with everybody. So you want to do that whole tingling, but then it comes to a point where like if you're with this person, sleeping with them and developing feelings in a relationship, even if she's doing it for you and not vice versa, you either have to break up with that person or if you're going to continue, there's boundaries. Or maybe I need to just walk the fuck away in general. Like that's what I've done with my exes. I walked away and they had to, but I also had no choice with them because they were really honest with me. They were like, we're not together anymore. I don't like you like that anymore. I'm moving on.
It sounds like he's said similar
It's
things.
what my sister's
as well.
saying too. Like, you know what drives me crazy about you, Chanel? The 24-year-old, the girl who got married at 24 years old and never had a dick since her husband. She's gonna kill me after she hears this. But she's very wise. But she's like, I don't know how many times that this person got through your head. Because there's another guy that I dated. This was a crazy the story I said on Cypher's podcast about the casino guy. My sister's always like, you get all these signs from these men. They tell you in so many different ways and show you the action or the lack of action, and you still stick around. I'm like, no, you're wrong, because the guys are telling me what I want to hear in private, and that's why I blow them up in public. Is you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say I'm with Chanel Omari, and then in front of like 3 fucking waitresses, you're pretending like you don't know me. You can't do that. You can't do that in life. I mean, you can, but it's not cool. And a girl like me is going to go on public and open her mouth and tell the truth. Well, I shouldn't feel guilty about it. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, it's okay. I interrupt
and I'm
as
like
well.
yelling at you, and I shouldn't feel guilty about it. Okay, Billy.
Look, the Italian, the Italian, the Jew. We it's not interrupting. It's cooperative listening. It's like, have you looked up enthusiastic listening? I have. It replaces the word interruption for me.
I think I think the next step would be breaking up, and really sticking to the breakup for him to realize and understand that these girls that are giving him the attention that don't really care for him like I have, he's gonna have to realize that if he really, really wants me and all of me, then he'll make the change.
He can still flirt with chicks at the club, not actually do anything.
Exactly. And I'm not that crazy.
And then put like a little fucking, put the little heart emoji and tag your name in his bio and like call it a day.
Exactly. Or not even that. Even just, hey, this is my girlfriend Chanel. And then when I'm not gonna always be with him. They know I'm his girlfriend. They know he's dating someone. And you want to like fist pump that girl, then that's okay to fist pump that girl, because there's already been something stated. Just like if me and you met at his at one of the comedy clubs in front of him, I would probably shake your hand. I wouldn't hug you. I wouldn't fist pump you or fist pump you, whatever.
I mean, look, I would love to elevate to the level where I get a fist pump.
I know, like I don't know. I feel like it's still touchy, so that's why the handshake is like formal.
Sure. Wait,
I don't know. The touching thing kills me.
Well, the touching thing sounds so Jewish.
I know.
I mean, and not just
we've been raised
Jewish,
around.
but like it sounds so orthodox.
It is. It
right?
is.
Right. And like
we're raised like not. It's called sneas in Hebrew, meaning even when you're together with someone. Or not, a married man or a man in a relationship should not be touching another woman. That's in Judaism. We're raised with that, and vice versa with a woman. Especially when you're in a relationship and everybody knows about it, it's counted as disrespectful. It's the gossip of the town, and that's what I was raised around. You don't look at another woman's man. You don't look at another man's woman. Yeah. Your eyes are always down. So, and we've had this discussion. He's like, a lot of people who know you have tried to. You're very misunderstood. Like, I think I'm misunderstood to him. Because he was raised differently than he was raised with touch. He's Latin. I'm Latin too, by the way. The touchy and feely, and there shouldn't even be a question of you being jealous if I'm coming home with you at the end of the night.
Sure.
But also, you want to feel like priority. You want to feel good when the man comes back home with you. You want to feel that he made you that priority that whole night, and that's why he's coming back home with you. He's not coming back home with you because that dumbass waitress didn't give him attention. I'm sorry. I'm calling out these girls because it's like ridiculous that I'm putting all this effort and time, and then I'm the one labeled the psycho. I'm the one labeled that no one knows what's going on in our bedroom.
Well, like, I don't want to go, like, I don't know how productive it is to like use words like psycho and stuff. What I'm observing in like this, brief conversation with you is I'm seeing someone who is very
breaking down.
Well, I see someone who's insecure about a relationship that it seems like from the information I've got where the relationship's not being like kind of publicly acknowledged or like acknowledged in his day to day.
Enough.
So then why would you feel secure? If
Concrete. This is my girlfriend to everyone.
If he had the heart emoji and tagged you in his Instagram bio and wasn't constantly posting my girlfriend, but just there's some sort of thing there'd be like, I have a girlfriend and this is her and I'm a big fan.
Yeah. That's all I need. Right. I swear. Not has to post me.
I don't think that's constant acknowledgement. I think that's just like some form of acknowledgement that makes you feel secure. And then if you're still freaking out about stuff, maybe we can start doing more introspection, but I see no reason why you should feel secure if you can't get that acknowledgement. I don't think it's productive to use words like psycho. I'd rather know like how are things making you feel?
Yeah.
What are the feelings? And then are there any like tangible, concrete action steps we can do that might address those feelings? And they may or may not work, but let's try a thing. And then maybe we check in a few weeks. You know what? I don't think that worked. Or you know what? I realize I actually don't need as much as I thought I needed.
Well, how would you go about it with someone so old school when you without
I don't date old school people. Like if I can sense that off a chick, I'm just not getting involved. because like
So I need to do that.
looking for people who have a similar mindset.
But that's what I should be doing.
Yeah, but you
instead
seem
of-
like a little too hip for like the Modocs crowd.
Oh, I am, and that's
Right.
why, and that's what happens, right? And then I go into the like other crowd, and then I want to change them into the Motox crowd, and it's like, bro, I'm not a Hasid, you know? Now, you know what I'm saying?
I was a producer on a Jewish sexuality dating podcast.
Oh, you were?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
That must have been so interesting and amazing.
It was wild. I was the goy in the room. I learned things.
The goy, you see, Goy.
Oh, Rabbi Linzer said because my
You're already Jewish. You're part of.
Oh yeah,
But Italians and Jews are very similar, by the way.
Oh yeah, there's similar vibes in there. My ex is Jewish, and so I went to go meet her family for Thanksgiving, and he taught me, he was like, if you want to impress the parents, just at some point, if you can, just try to slip it in there. Just be like, yeah, but like, what would Rashi say?
I can't take you.
I don't.
You're too funny, Billy. Sorry, he's like, I'm lowering her volume. The Jewish voice, the Baba Streisand. It's true. The rabbi would say that. You did a good rabbi impression.
He's like, you don't have to know what Rashi would say, but just knowing who Rashi was and suggest. And he said, say it like flippantly, like you're almost dismissing them. Like, yeah. But like, what would Rashi say?
But the fact that you went out of your way to even know this and talk to the rabbi, A, is amazing. B, is that, but did you guys break up because of the Jewish, non-Jewish?
No,
thing?
Jewish has nothing to do with it. She's not like she's spiritually Jewish. She's not like a super
No.
practicing, but her father
my
was
family.
raised, I think, modern Orthodox. So that's why I was like, I waited for my spot. I drank. I had her mom's soup. I'm just like, when do I get? And then at one point later in the night, I got to throw it in there. And I was like,
yes. You're like, but wow, with Rashi's, you got to write that scene from a comedy movie one day that we're going to watch with you because that is hilarious to me.
There's gonna be a scene with me in front of a mirror just practicing the different ways to say it.
Well, what would Rashi say? And manishtana. Why out of all days today? I used to resent this whole thing. And then I started making jokes about it. Like, because I know that the Jewish community, even when they're married, they feel guilty if they're having this crazy sex. So that makes sense why they'd want the advice. It's a shame because everyone's asking me, is the Jewish thing a situation right now? And surprisingly, no.
But I disagree. I
For my
think it's
parents.
very clear that there's been an impression upon you that even if you're not, are you practicing or?
No, so I'm traditional, but I'm more spiritual.
Right.
My parents are modern Orthodox, and it's funny because I've only dated one Jewish guy. Seriously, the guy on the show.
So it's like you're not like say trying to practice the rules of Sunnis and stuff, but like.
But it's embedded in me.
It's embedded. There's something like already there's hints of it. There's traces of it. I'm really curious, like where else in your life you think that applies? Because like you were talking about the touch being a sign of disrespect, and in his culture, it's like a sign of just like kindness and warmth. You know that a fist bump is not a big deal, but there's something in you still there. And I wonder where else that comes in your sex or dating life or your views on love and gender.
I think it comes, it comes not just with him. It's with a lot of things, even in comedy, like displaying my sexuality on stage. So a lot of times I underdress. I remember one person said to me once, male comic, he was like, without disrespect, you're a really pretty girl, and I don't know why you make yourself look like you're this like homeless nebach, like
I've never seen your
sad
stand-up,
case.
so I didn't.
Well, because like I wear like over big coats. I don't wear my breasts aren't out. Like I don't wear cleavage stuff. I dress down. I wear oversized stuff. Sometimes hoodies. Sometimes honestly, like I brush my hair's in a bun. I mean,
you don't come out with the shower cap.
I don't. I
just got a shower cap on.
I know. I have a shower cap currently on because I'm obviously getting my hair done for my boyfriend's birthday.
I mean, your boyfriend who
won't
my
play
boyfriend?
me. My boyfriend, my not boyfriend, my situationship. He says that I'm sleeping with him. I'm gonna fucking blow this whole city down tonight.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, I am also working in therapy to have a happy medium, right, with someone like him. Because any relationship I'm going to be in, I can't let jealousy and competitiveness overcome our relationship or get in the middle of it. But you're right. There are things he can do to make me feel secure. Any guy I date who will make me feel secure. Sure. Maybe, like I could tell you this, the guy that I was almost engaged with, the one that broke my heart on the show, I didn't have these issues with him with other women because he was raised the same way.
Right.
So he knew I can't just touch a girl in front of Chanel just to touch the girl.
Right. I have to touch her when Chanel's not around and not looking, and then he hires one of my dominatrix friends. Because the doms, they'd be like, they got a lot of Hasidic clients.
Sure. Right. And that's the whole thing. I don't want to live like that of like living this lie.
Yeah.
That's what I explained to my boyfriend. It's like, no, he's like, not everyone has to know our business. No, that's an old school way. It's not about, not everyone has to know our business. And believe me, everyone who knows I'm public on social, I'm very private too. Okay. Don't always post about us or him, but I want to be truthful. I want to be free to talk on a podcast with you and say, I would say this to his face and I would say this to his friend's face. But sometimes I feel like I can't say this because even his own friends think I'm a psycho for feeling this way. At the end of the day, he is an amazing man. And that's probably why I want so much attention from him because I know how amazing he is. And in general, if I ever date anybody else, I need to I just want everyone to know like doing the work on yourself is so important.
If he's listening, as she said earlier, I think I just gave you a real good out. All you got to do is put this little thing in your Instagram bio and it sounds like she's going to chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Or just tell all the pretty girls that I'm your fucking girlfriend.
So, question, do you have like an extra like 10, 15 minutes for a little bonus episode?
Yes, of
okay.
course.
I want to grill you a little bit about Maury Povich stuff if it's not going to fuck up an NDA or something.
Do it. No. We go.
Okay, cool. So maybe a little of that, maybe a little bit more reality stuff, possibly some more Modocs. But for now, where can people go to find you?
Love this question. So
my
favorite question about me. Check me out at Chanel Omari. At the All-Star Comedy Show. We have a comedy show every month at the Stand. This month it's August 10th. Next month, September 14th. And then October 12th. You're going to see your good friend Billy over here. He's going to be on one of the shows. So I want you guys to start.
This was my audition,
tickets.
Everybody.
It was his audition. He did great. You're like, dude, I need therapy now after helping you.
I'm in therapy 4 times a week. I'm good.
Oh, good. So then, and we talk about this on stage a lot. So it's fun. We got housewives that come and it's all for City Harvest at City Harvest NYC. When you buy the tickets, proceeds go towards the charity at the Stand. Chanel in the City podcast, we present it. It stemmed from my podcast because a lot of times we've had people on my podcast and people, whether they're housewives or comedians or, celebrities, and they would talk about their funny moments, their obstacles, and then they would either be comics on the show. So I was like, let's just do this whole thing once a month where everybody who's a Chanel in the City fan, everybody who's a comedy fan, all the pro comics, we get together and we do something for something to give back through laughter. So there you go.
All right.
And at Chanel in the City podcast, at the All-Star Comedy Show, at Chanel Omari, at the Stand. Just don't follow my boyfriend because I will delete all your Instagrams. I will find a way to come in and delete all them, bitch. I am Arab. I own half of Instagram. And Jewish.
Well, Patreon people, you're going to hear some more of Chanel tomorrow. But for now, why don't you go ahead and say goodbye to everybody?
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Billy, for having me. This was an amazing, honestly, awesome podcast.
So
You're
fun.
awesome. And I love you all. And thank you for not judging me on this. And make sure to follow me. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Wait. Before you go, I want to share with you something cool, something spicy, something juicy. And it involves Maury Povich. But can you hang tight? Thank you. I just want to say a few things, and I'm going to give you something pretty cool. Folks, Chanel Omari, what'd you think? Huh? Do you think she has a boyfriend or not? You know where you can share that opinion? In the Champagne Room. Yes, our super free, super fun, super sex positive Discord server. We have an episode discussion channel where all you whoreheads come together and share your thoughts on the latest episode. Or, honestly, we've got people who are binging forward right now through the show, and they're showing up into the episode discussion channel and be like, hey, everybody, I just listened to episode 157. Can we talk about it real quick? It's cute. No, keep doing it, please. So, folks, come in. Let us know what you thought about the episode in there. You can also always shoot me an email at manwhorepod@gmail.com, whether it's with your comments, your questions, your criticisms. Maybe you want a pegging shirt. I'm here for it. And if you're feeling more like you want to flirt, you want to call me pretty, you want to take a look at that ass and then talk about what you would do to it, we can do that together at onlyfans.com/callmebilly. You flirt with me, I'll flirt with your credit card. It'll be a great time. Best threesome ever. Yeah. All the links to those are in the show notes, as well as the link to my Patreon. Seriously, folks, if you got $2, you got $5, you got something you can throw down, help a whore out, help keep a roof over my head and condoms on my cock, means the world to me and allows me to keep doing this week in and week out for you. Show your appreciation for the Man Whore Podcast at patreon.com/Man Whore Podcast. All right, everybody. Next week, I recorded something stupid spicy. So stupid spicy, I'm uncomfortable sharing it for multiple reasons. I'm going to have to journal about it for a bit. First, I got to figure out if I actually need to pee or if I have a UTI. I'm not Sure, baby's never had a UTI or chlamydia before, so we got to go find that out. But it is late on a Tuesday, so it's just gonna have to wait till the morning. But oh, damn. I hope you all enjoyed the pod. I will see you all next week. Oh God, it's starting to hurt. Everybody, get your shit checked and stay slutty.
We worked on the show. I don't know. There was a famous thing on YouTube. You could check it out when two sisters, it was called the chicken tetrazzini dance. And what it was it was a show. The story, the whole thing was these two sisters, best friends. And, one of the girls, she was married. She was married to this guy for like 15 years. And the sister cheated with her husband. And
Okay.
they kept it a secret. And the reason why she found out he cheated on her is because she made the best chicken tetrazzini there was. And how would he know the recipe if it wasn't from my sister? And so basically she found them. She caught them in the act with chicken tetrazzini that she helped her make. And
She didn't catch them fucking. She caught them making dinner.
She caught them making dinner.